little investigating on my wife's part of life. I want to tell you something. So I have 3 boys, right? Jake, who's going to be 21 next week, goes to the University of Arizona. My son Kemp, who's 20, who goes to Hawaii Pacific University. And then my son Dutch, who's 17, who goes to, he's in high school. And Kemp is in Hawaii. And as far as we know, none of them have ever had girlfriends, right?
As far as you know.
Right. I've always kind of preached, like, focus on school, focus on basketball. Girls are amazing, but they're a distraction. Going through club basketball and travel basketball, I've noticed the guys that were really good that started to kind of not show up and do stuff. They got all involved with girls. So I was just kind of always pushing, like, hey, don't worry. They'll always be there. Focus on this, right? This won't always be there. So anyway, Kemp has this, who's in Hawaii, has this girl that he's been hanging around with, right? My wife's like investigating nonstop. They post pictures together. They went to yoga together, right? She's the one that let him borrow the car for a while because she went to, when you're in Hawaii and you travel and they went for Christmas, she went home, so she had a car. She let Kemp borrow this car.
Oh, that's big.
I know.
That's like,
you don't just let someone borrow your car while you're not even there. If you're not in love.
Well, also, when you're in Hawaii and you don't have a garage, so you Kemp can move the car, drive. There's lots of, so everything's believable. And he says, what? She's just my friend. She needed to put a place to put her car, so she let me drive her car. It's a car that I posted that doesn't have a window, because that's how cars are in Hawaii. You get them really cheap because you're just going to drive a little bit. Anyway, yesterday, my wife says, finally, she puts the phone down and she looks at me, she goes, I know they're dating. And I go, why? What makes you think you know that? What is happening that makes you know for sure they're dating? I thought I'd bring this up to you guys. If this is an instant, because he has from sweat and whatever, he's got like pimples, like acne or something. And they were at the store buying face cream together. So she's like, if they're buying face cream together, they have to be dating. I know they're dating. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, because I'm totally buying it. If they're buying face cream and she's popping his pimples for him, oh, yeah, she's into him for sure. You're like
are you in denial? Or are you
I'm not in denial. I just thought that was funny that was the thing.
Yeah.
If they're buying face cream together,
and it's on.
I don't care if he's dating anybody. I think he's great. Especially she's an athlete, too.
Yeah.
It's like they have the same goals. They're not going to be up till 4 o'clock in the morning drinking. They're going to bed early to do whatever.
Or maybe they are, but also still handling their business.
If they're buying pimple cream, they are dating. It's she wasn't trying to be funny. She was like, this is how I know they're dating.
That's the tell. That's the tell.
Who are you going to go to Sephora with, John Jay? Nobody. Maybe Blake. That's it.
Right.
Is Sephora, I know that's makeup, right?
Yeah. And skincare.
Oh, it is skincare? I was like, if I was to get skincare, I'd probably go to Target. I wouldn't even know to go to Sephora.
Some Targets have a little Sephora in them. Am I right?
True. Yeah.
I have a daughter, so I know all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like he was like texting her, and they called her, I guess, called my wife about like which cream should I get because I have whatever. And then he's like, wait, who's there? Who are you with? And it's her. And then he got off the phone, and it was like she solved the murder of my life.
Anyway. I knew it.
Once his skin starts looking better, then you really know.
But maybe it's at such the beginning stage yet, in that point where you're kind of you're still kind of really seeing where it's going.
Yeah.
So he's laying low about it with you guys.
And maybe he still looks at her as the friend, right? But she's training him to be the boyfriend.
Oh, gosh.
He's a boyfriend in training, which is cool, too.
In fact, weren't you, Kyle, you were talking about Sephora Kids? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
And that's the young kids that are into face cream?
Yeah. It's like my daughter, my niece. My daughter's not a Sephora kid. She's not going to go in there and get mad at me for not spending $900. That's quote unquote Sephora kids. But there is a whole super young generation that is really into skincare, and it's out of control because they're not into the Target skincare. No, you can't get that stuff. You got to go to Sephora and get the $100 moisturizer and all that stuff.
Is that what you have, Peyton?
No, it's so funny because as I was doing my makeup last night, I was thinking about these Sephora kids, and I'm like, the face powder that I'm using right now is literally from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just at a different point in my life than these kids, obviously.
Yeah, it was my wife, when she was bringing this up, she was like, another time about face cream, I was like, man, I never once in my life, still, I don't, every once in a while I might put sunscreen on, but I've never put skincare on my face at all, ever. And that's such a whole new world for me. When she says, well, Kim's got pimples, I'm like, I think that happens. Like, I remember getting pimples, a pimple or two, but that's it. But my wife's like, quick, we got to get him some face cream. Like, she's been dealing with face cream for a long time. But if you are on a date if you go with someone of the opposite sex to buy face cream, it's on.
I do think it's at a different level, for sure.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you're running errands together. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal, too.
Maybe one.